The selling process. This video will go over the 5 steps with activities of becoming a good salesperson. We will have a contest on March 21st to see who's the best salesperson in our class. Here is the information you need to know to be the best possible salesperson you can be. Let's start by giving you the steps, the 5 steps, phases in the selling process. First, not a step, but selling is a complex process that changes depending on what you sell, who you sell to, and what industry you sell in. Regardless of what you sell, there's really no blueprint that you should follow, but there are steps that may go in or out of order. Basically, all salespeople have a good general understanding of how to apply the steps to each of the situations that they encounter. Here the 5 components are: establishing a relationship, discovering needs and wants, prescribing, or we might say, as a doctor would say, diagnosing a solution, reaching closure, and lastly, reaffirming that buyer-seller relationship. Let's talk about the first one, establishing relationships with customers. Very important, because you can gain or lose a customer in the first couple minutes of initial contact. Now look at this picture. What do you see? I see a confident couple that has the trust of this salesperson. They feel comfortable. Looks like they're being encouraged to hear more about the product and definitely have some favorable impressions. What's next in the first step of establishing a relationship? Well, as a salesperson, you should be determining and looking at, we might call it sizing up the customer. What are their personalities like? How can you get to know them better? What kind of a mood are they in that day? What just type of personality are they? What decisions need to be made? Maybe they're not looking to buy that day. Maybe they're just doing some research on some products and comparison shopping. And then also obviously being aware of their needs or wants. Other things you can look at, we might call it prospecting, like the 49ers did for gold. You might, if you know who your customer is before you actually are selling to them, you might research some information about them to have a little bit of background on them going into the selling situation, which could help break the ice, could help more familiarize you, be on a closer level with them, such as some of the items that are listed here. Step 2, discovering their needs and wants. How do you do that? Simple. Ask questions. Make sure you listen. Observe their reactions. And lastly, make sure that you are analyzing the previous 3 concerns about asking questions, listening, and observing. So continuing with step 2, the importance of assessing needs and wants. Main thing is it can help you reduce selling time. If you know what the customer actually wants, they will be satisfied rather than taking time to bother you and annoy them and return a product. It can help you tailor your presentation also and give you more time to sell more products and meet the needs of more customers. Phase 3, which sometimes is called the diagnosis phase, or as the doctor here is doing, he's going to prescribe a solution to whatever his client needs. 2 things with prescribing solutions to customers' needs and wants. They are the sales talk and the product demonstration. Let's talk about sales talk first. Sales talk, as you can see here, the salesperson is using his hands. They're very interested. He is focusing on the benefits of how this couple, the benefits for the product, will meet their needs. Obviously the product will have features, but he needs to turn in or translate the features into how it can actually benefit this couple. That is what the sales talk entails, mainly stressing benefits to the consumer. Product demonstration probably speaks for itself, but a couple different ways. Can you remember maybe the first time you took a test drive in a brand new car, or tried on a new pair of pants or new types of clothing at the store? Product demonstration. Create an interest. Get involved. Okay, have the customer involved. A couple different ways. If you can't actually physically do it, by testing a car, driving it, putting on a pair of jeans, shoes. Maybe you can do it with a chart. Maybe you can do it with a video. Maybe you can do it with some sort of other hands-on interaction without the product that you can actually show the customer. Some guidelines for step 3 for prescribing solutions. Make sure not to confuse them. Okay, so maybe give them 1 or 2 options. Do not give 5 options. They will get very confused, maybe even frustrated. Stress the benefits rather than the features, as we previously talked about, and select items that ultimately meet their needs. Concentrate usually on one item of interest. There'll be, if the customers have a priority list, concentrate on number 1 or 2, the top priorities. That will really guide you to what you should recommend as a solution to meet their needs. Step 4, reaching closure. Purposes for reaching closure. Is there anything still hanging out there that we haven't answered that you have questions about? If not, let's get the order. A couple things with reaching closure. First, objections. Objections are any questions, concerns that they still might have about the product. Maybe I'm a little leery about this. Good salespeople will anticipate these. They will be ready to answer them because of prior experience, or they will just have done their homework and know it's sort of a sticking point on a sale, or it's maybe a confusing part of a product. They will use objections not to a disadvantage by not being prepared for them, but they will use them as an advantage and turn them into positives instead of negatives. Tips on how to handle objections, questions, concerns. Welcome them. Very, very good question. I'm glad you asked that. This is a popular question, that a concern that most of our customers have with this type of product, and it's very knowledgeable on your part as a consumer to ask that question. Listen from their point of view, put yourself in their shoes, see it through their eyes. Restate the object. Well, let me make sure I've heard that clear from you. You're concerned about the safety airbags going off on impact. Is that correct? Am I answering your question? Am I getting your question the right way? So you might want to restate it to make sure that they have a comfort level with it, and you are. Obviously, make sure you answer it. That will show you know the answer to it, and you're very knowledgeable, prepared, confident salesperson. Do not just skim over it and act like you didn't hear it and forget about it. Review the benefits, which are basically the answers maybe to the questions or to the objections, and then develop a conviction. This is the product for you. I can see you in this product. You need it. This is you. It meets exactly what you want. You could be driving this product off the lot today. You could have it in your hands in a few minutes and be using it within the next few hours. Closing signals. Still in phase 4, there are some closing signals. Okay? Verbal, nonverbal. Nonverbal might be a handshake. Verbal might say, I'm ready to buy. Are you ready to buy? Yes, I'm ready to buy. Handshake, no handshake, head shake. Someone reaching for their wallet or their purse could be a nonverbal that they're ready to pay. This can happen at any time. So the order of the steps may not go 1 through 5. It may go phase 1 right to the closing phase, phase 4. They might know what they want. They come in, they buy. Lastly, paperwork will need to be handled by you as the salesperson on this part. Maybe some contracts. Some salespeople find it difficult to close sales. One of the biggest oops or mistakes are salespeople will not or will forget to ask the customer if they are ready to buy. It's just a weird silence. And they look at each other for a little bit instead of asking if they're ready to close the sale. So you need to ask the customer if they're ready to buy. Few customers will buy without being asked. Lastly, the last step, sort of a fun step. Have you ever gotten a birthday reminder from your dentist? Maybe they're reaffirming the buyer-seller relationship, or a nice email from someone just thanking you for and wishing you maybe a Merry Christmas or a Happy Halloween. They're just reminding you that they're there and that they would want another purchase from you. So the final phase, reaffirming the buyer-seller relationship, increases confidence that you made the right purchase, reassures the customer of the purchase. Some follow-up techniques that you might see. Suggestive selling. A person buys a computer. Would they like a carry bag with it? A suggestive sell is sort of like an add-on to it. Would you like some earbuds with it? Okay. If you buy a burger, would you like a soda with it? I'm going to suggest you get a soda and some fries with your burger. Suggestive sell are sort of smaller add-ons that can help foster or make sure that the ultimate purchase is a good purchase. Follow-up techniques if there is a contract to make sure it is fully explained. Follow-up techniques could be used through email, direct mail, over the phone. Benefits of the follow-up: reaffirms the relationship for repeat sales. Maybe you will network and get someone else to buy from them, so it could nurture the relationship for years and years to come after the sale, and obviously may lead to some repeat sales. Lastly, let's wrap up. Reasons for using the selling process. You will, on that day, if you become the most popular, the best salesperson in our class, you will appear to be very organized and have confidence. The process also ensures that you are definitely meeting their needs of what they actually want. Bottom line is, the company stays in the black. They are making money. They're not in the red because you are using an effective, proven sales process.